to Spartyka Fight League Radio with your hosts, Mikey B and Chris Alani.
Let's go to war! It's fight time!
SFL Radio.
Say go.
Go.
What's up, everybody? It's time for SFL Radio. I am your host, Mikey V, and I am joined by the man, the myth, the legend.
Me?
Yeah.
No, the other guy.
Awesome.
I didn't know if you were pointing at me or Josh. I'm
Well,
like,
it's not Chris. It is. We got Jimmy Spartyka here today with us.
hey, what's going on?
We have two special guests. If you were at SFL 37, you will recognize one of them. But we have Josh Alvello, Innovative Twist.
That'd be me.
Innovative Twist is one of our awesome sponsors at Spartyka Fight League. They basically do everything print that we do, right? All of our banners, all of our
Banners, tablecloths, I mean, all kinds of stuff.
Everything.
We've been working with Josh, man, almost, I think your son might have been in diapers as long as we've been working together now.
I'd say
It's
so.
been a-
He's
it's
9,
probably-
so
yeah,
that's a
it's been
long time.
It's been a good, 7-8 years. So.
Yeah, and speaking of son, we have to my left, Nicky Stylz.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Nicky's awesome. Nicky is, if you guys remember, during the fight, he did some ring announcing in his little suit. He looked amazing. I think he actually gave Shane a run for his money.
I think he's gonna try to get that belt. I think we should put them two in the ring and see what happens.
That's right. So Nicky did that. So he is. I think is he going to keep doing this? Is this a continuous thing or?
I think Jimmy said he can, and
Yeah,
I think
man.
that's something he wants to do. So
I think we definitely bring him out at least for one bout an event. The crowd definitely loved him.
Oh, they went crazy.
Yeah, I mean, they went absolutely crazy for the kids. So I'm excited about bringing him back out. Yeah, and then, Shane's already kind of offered up to, help him out.
Yeah.
do his little mentorship.
Yeah,
Yep,
that's
which is
awesome.
gonna be good.
So Nicky, how old are you?
I'm 9 years old.
9 years old. Already doing big things.
9 going on 20.
Yeah, right. So what made you want to do that? What made you want to get in the ring?
I just wanted to have fun. I thought it would be something fun to do, just to have fun with my childhood.
Okay.
All right.
I'm telling you, I don't know where he comes up with this stuff. He sounds a little bit more sophisticated than I do.
So in the ring, it was crazy because if you listen to the SFL broadcast with the post-fight interviews, me and Chris were sitting there, and I did not know that you were doing this. Me and Chris just looked up, and we saw this little man in a suit in the ring, and I said, "What is going on?" And then you got on the mic, and you were like, your voice got big, and I was like, "Is this for real?" And then we actually stopped our interview that we were doing, and we were like, "Yo, check this out. This is crazy." So your voice is you have a very good voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a little nervous. He's like, "Dad, but are you gonna be there if I get messed up?" I'm like, "It's okay, you can mess up, but you got this." The first time he ever asked to talk on the mic, we were on TV I was doing a fashion show, and he's like, "I want to talk on the mic." So they let him say something on TV, and then from there he's like, "Okay, I want to host your auditions." And we're like, "Okay," thinking he's gonna shy and not want to do it. Oh no.
Killed
What you've
it.
seen is what he does every time. He looks nervous, but when he hits the stage and he's got that mic in his hand, that's it.
Natural ham.
Yeah.
It was crazy. I remember just before we walked into the cage, I looked down at him, and I'm like, "You good? You good to go?" And he just looked up at me. His eyes were just big. And he kind of nodded his head, but I was like, "Oh my goodness!" I couldn't even imagine being 9 years old, getting in there
For
But he
thousands of people.
just walked in there and owned it. Just
Did you know-
absolutely owned it.
Did you know how many people were there?
Dad said about 3,000.
Yeah, right. A little over
Yeah.
3,000. That's huge at your age. That's insane. That's crazy. I get nervous when I play in front of big crowds, and I'm 40. So. we do SFL radio in the dark on the side. Nobody even sees us. If we had a banner behind us, that would be
If we had a
helpful.
bit, here we go.
Right.
Here's the plug going again.
Threw that out there. But
So
anyway,
the next show, you'll probably see a banner behind us. I'm just saying.
I hope so. So
We won't
Nicky,
leave it up to Jimmy. I'll take
What
care.
else? What else do you like to do? Tell us. Obviously you've been to fights before, right? Do you like the fights?
Yeah, they're fun. Yeah, I think they're fun.
Who's your favorite SFL fighter?
Mitch.
Mitch.
He's been around. So we used to have a juice bar where Mitch trained.
Yeah.
So Mitch used to always come over, make his own drinks, and my son got close, and then watching him fight, it was like he had his own little hero. And then Mitch's mom would always give him a sign, a hat, or something to,
Aw.
so that when Mitch was in the cage, he was out there, hollering.
Nice.
I tell you what, just, little plug to Mitch's mom, just to just an amazing lady. It's been pretty cool doing this for 8 years now. You get a chance to meet a lot of people. But when it comes down to people's parents, she's just kind of in a class of her own, man. Anytime Mitch was fighting, it was just crazy. She'd make all these signs and she was just really into it. And, man, just an awesome lady all the way around.
Oh, yeah.
You think you're ever going to get into fighting? Or do you want to be that man in the suit in the ring?
I want to be that man in the suit in the ring.
Excellent. That's good.
There you
Well,
go.
you don't want to get your face messed up, too, so. I'm the same way. I don't like being punched. I like making the jokes and talking instead. So we're going to see you at the next fight. That's exciting. SFL 38, right? Next fight?
Yep, SFL 38. That'll be the 7th of April, first weekend into April. We're going to start trickling out some of the fights this week coming up. We've already been matchmaking, and the fight card's looking exciting. I'm super pumped up for it, so I'm not going to really leak anything just yet. But, expect within the next week to start seeing some of the flyers to start dropping in.
Heck yeah.
If you haven't saved the date, definitely do it. 7 April, Ted Constant Center. That's the home of Spartyka Fight League. It's going to be an exciting night of fights.
And you'll see this guy do his thing. We're actually going to post. We're not going to do it yet, but we're going to post up so you guys can see it. Tell us a little bit more about yourself, Nikki. What do you like to do? What is some of the hobbies? Don't say Fortnite like all the little kids do. Is it Fortnite?
No, not at all.
Nah.
Good.
I like playing sports. I like hanging out with my sister sometimes when they're not annoying. I like hanging out with my friends, and I like hosting events and stuff.
I see that.
He just learned how to do a backflip.
Did he really?
Yeah, by himself. Just said, Dad, watch.
And you just
Just does it.
just did it. Natural athlete, natural voice.
Yeah, like
Gifted.
he's the type of person, like, if he wants to do something, he watches the videos, he watches how they do it, and then he does it.
That's crazy. And you know, like when we were kids, we didn't have that where you could just
Google
they could
something.
just Google how to do anything now. It's like you had to find somebody that knew how to do it, and then you had to ask them to teach you.
Yeah.
It was a lot different, and it's like now these kids can just that's our daughter. She's in gymnastics, and it's like she was doing gymnastics before we took her to gymnastics because she Googled it.
Yeah.
And then just look what I can do, and I'm like, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's exactly how it is, and we're just like, okay, what's next? What is he gonna try now?
Yeah, we got to get him a podcast now.
Well, we're working on that. I'm trying to get him. He's gonna do a YouTube channel. We're gonna do a podcast. We're gonna, he's just a funny guy. You don't even know.
That's
I mean,
it.
there's
Next-
stories that he would have you here dying if he told you about Larry.
Next fight, you got to bring him over and put him on SFL radio. Actually,
Yeah, we didn't catch him last time.
no,
right?
we didn't even get him
No,
over
we'll
there.
have to get him commentating with you
I didn't
guys.
even know he was doing. So we didn't even know who he was. I didn't even know that was your son. I was like, is that like somebody's kid? Like, who is that? Is that a VIP's kid? Is that some a sponsor's kid? Nobody told us. It was just like this thing that happened. And then I found out afterwards, and I was like, man, I wish we could have got him on the air. That would have been great. But yeah, he can come over and do post-fight interviews with the fighters with us and stuff. That'd be fun.
Oh yeah, he'll like that.
Except when they just make sure they don't bleed on you, because sometimes they get all bloody and they want to put the white headphones on, and I'm like, nah, dude, you don't get to do that. You don't get to do that.
You're gonna have to fight off the ladies though, because they do love my son.
Oh, that's fine. My girl will appreciate that. She was one of the ring girls, so
He normally comes with his own security. You'd be surprised.
yeah, the ladies absolutely loved you in the ring that day. I was like, you getting more cheers than the fighters were, I think.
Oh, man. I mean,
yeah.
he just, man, little kid just owned it.
Yeah, the fighters were great. Like the ones that he was announcing, after they announced them, they dapped them up. They were,
Nice.
I think it felt good for them too. It was
Yeah, that
something
was
different.
the Alistair Patterson versus Chris Scales fight.
Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna ask which fight it was in because I don't remember exactly which one, but excellent.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
So tell us a little bit about your company while we got you on, and let people know what Innovative Twist does. Not
So-
just for us, but for everybody.
Yeah, so I'm a printing and graphics company. Like I said, I've been doing Jimmy stuff for a while. But, not only his stuff, there's a lot of people I do printing for, mostly out of state now. But it's really just, I like designing stuff that's going to help people be more successful.
Yep.
Because your image is everything. So if we put something out there that looks like crap, you're going to get crap,
Yep.
So we try to make it look like you spent $1 million on a design, because that's what attracts your customers, where some people just don't get that. So we'll just go into a random place and be like, hey, I don't like that design. Let me go redo that. And then I'll redo it. I'll take them some free print, and then I gain them as a customer.
Nice.
Done it multiple
That makes
times,
sense.
and it's been great. But other than Innovative Twist, I have Inspirational Growth, which is my nonprofit where his little thing started, because it was my event that I put together where it really launched what he wanted to do. And that's where we seen he wanted to speak on the mic. And, the whole point of Inspirational Growth is to do what I'm going to do with him, which is teach him how to become an entrepreneur. Because that's literally what he is. He's already scheduled to host 2 events in the summer, an all-white party for kids, and then another fashion show where he's the main host. And there's
That's awesome.
3 other hosts, and he's the one that's, leading the whole thing.
Yeah.
So just lining him up and teaching him, what to do and how to do it, because I feel like entrepreneurship for kids is the next wave. School's cool, but at the end of the day, how many people are going to school and still paying off that debt and don't even work in their field?
Absolutely. And they don't teach entrepreneurship, and when they do, it's a lot of stuff in the classroom. It doesn't teach you that real world stuff that you get, on the hustle and the grind out in the real world. So that's important.
Right. And at the age that he's at, failing is okay. Why? Because they think of things way different than an adult does. And if they do fail, guess what? They come back and they try harder.
Yeah.
They don't give up and they don't go cry in a corner. No, they're like, okay, well, that didn't work. Let me try it this way. So, teaching them from that age to about 15, their minds are so wide open.
Yeah.
They think of things, they could think of ways to solve things that we look at and we're like, no, there's no way to do that. But they solve it. And that's how you become a millionaire, by solving $1 million problem.
Yeah.
I had my first business at his age. I'm not a millionaire yet, but I'm working on it.
I'm working on it. I've been doing this a long time, and he'll tell you I'm rich. And we do very well, for what I do. But at the end of the day, I want kids to know that entrepreneurship is cool.
Absolutely.
We all fail. We all want to give up. Entrepreneurship isn't easy. People don't see, everybody sees the glamorous stuff, the cars, the fancy houses, but they don't ever see what it takes to get there. So teaching kids at such a young age, work ethics, where we work.
Yeah.
I work 24 hours a day. Jimmy works 24 hours. We own a business.
Oh,
we don't get to sleep. We don't get
end.
to just clock in and clock out and
when
collect
I
a
walk
paycheck.
out tonight, it doesn't end.
No,
It
I
still
go home and I
goes.
jump on the computer again, and I'm still working on something else,
Absolutely.
But my kids see that, and they understand, it takes hard work to get to where you want to be.
Absolutely.
So with Inspirational Growth, that's my whole mission. I want to have 100 kids literally start a business from start to finish, teach them about business credit, teaching them, everything that I've learned along the way, and just passing it on. Because as adults, we literally tell our kids, no, you got to go to college. No, think about college. So we kill their creativity really inside when we tell them that. We don't give them the support because they're like, oh, I want to do this. You're like, no, you should go to college.
Yeah.
No,
It's crazy? There was I was reading about a teacher recently that she got fired because she actually told some kids not to go to school, basically saying, go to trade school or go do this because you'd be better at that. And then they literally fired her because of that.
And that's
sad because it's a business, because they're pushing the college as a business, and that's really what it is. It's like a puppy mill. They just grind them through, get that debt, send them out in the real world, and I've had many people with 4-year degrees work for me, and
Absolutely.
I don't have one. So
I know someone who she's got a doctor's, and she can't get a job teaching. She's overqualified.
Yeah.
And you're like, wait, what do you mean? You spent all this money to do this, and you can't do this, and you're struggling to live. So I want to be able to break that cycle and use my son as a tool to teach people, look, he's only 9. He's doing something. I don't force anything on him.
Yeah.
So he likes to speak. He likes to, host. He plays baseball very well. So listen, what do you want to do? All right, you don't want to do it no more? Okay, let's move on to the next thing.
Do you have a YouTube channel yet, or are you getting one?
I'm gonna get one.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll do this. It's almost a similar setup where we'll do the
Yes.
podcast, and then what we do on the podcast will go on YouTube, and just showcase everything that he does.
Do you have so Shane has his catchphrase? You know what that means?
Yes, I do.
Do you have a catchphrase?
No, not.
You don't have one yet? You gotta get one. Like Shane's got
We'll
his
work on
let's go to Ward's fight time, and this is
So
Spartyka.
yeah,
We'll
he'll
work
get
on
one.
that.
Yeah, we gotta
He'll
get you
one.
And then you get it, and then I'll have it uploaded so I can hit a button and it'll pop up on the podcast. That's what we do with Shane's. Let's go to war. We have it all synced in here. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be awesome. I think he's learning slowly, He's just feeling it out. You see, he's still a little nervous, but you really can't tell the way he speaks on the mic. It's so powerful. You would think that it's gonna be a little timid, and no, he's This is natural for him.
You know what? And honestly, like, I've DJ'd in front of huge crowds, thousands of people. It's the same thing. Like, I'll even get a little bit nervous now, but honestly, like, once you get out there, it immediately goes away. And it's like, I remember my first time getting in front of like a huge crowd, like 1,000+ people, and I was so nervous. And it's like, but once I started doing my thing, like, everybody just kind of melded away, and like, you just don't really, you don't see the individual faces. You just kind of like zone out and get in the zone, and then it was like no big deal. But even that, I mean, like, when I was on the radio, I'd get in the recording studio, and I'd see the radio station mics like this big. I'd get real nervous when it was in my face. But once you start doing it, it's repetition that builds it. Even stuff like this will help him. The more just doing it and realizing that people are going to see this, it makes it easier every time. And I test record even now. Sometimes I'll do solo test stuff, just sitting in here. I'll put my little USB mic on that I showed you, and I'll just do like random comedic things. I never even post them. I just delete them. But it's just the practice.
Yeah. I think it's, with one of the things that we learned with our fashion show that we did was the transformation of the kids from the beginning when we did auditions to the end for the final finale.
It's huge.
Was amazing. Like, I lost a lot of money doing that event. And me and my wife were sitting back and we were like, we don't even care because of the transformation. These kids walked away with confidence, great self-esteem, and, You
can't buy that.
No, not at all. And the fellowship that they created between each other. I mean, they were in the back. I didn't know this until the end of the show, and everybody's come up to me. Did you know they were in the back? And they said, let's pray. You know what I mean? Like, these are kids.
Yeah.
You don't think that, but they knew that, hey, if we pray, we can do this. I had my ex-wife's daughter, Xavier. We had someone who was going to do the prayer. She backed out last minute. She got scared. She's what, 7? Mm-hmm. She's like, I'll do the prayer. She killed it. When I tell you she killed it,
That's
at
crazy.
7. And you're just like, where do they get this from? Yeah. Because you don't see that until that moment.
I thought he was older. And we actually were talking in the shop before you guys came here, and we were telling one of our customers about like what we were podcasting about. And I said, I think he's like 10, 11 years, maybe like 11 years old. And then I think Jordan was like, no, he's 9. And I'm like, there's no way he's 9. There's no way. And then like, yeah, he's 9. That's crazy.
Yeah. He's got a talent show coming up. What song are you doing?
Ice Ice Baby.
Yes. Great.
Yeah.
Do you like the throwback music, like the old stuff, like 80s, 90s?
A little bit.
This is what he does. This is how he learns his songs. He'll go, and every time he showers, you hear a song. And he'll play that song every time he showers until he gets all the words, and then he goes on to the next song. Nice. And he just continues to learn that way.
You know all the words for Ice Ice Baby?
Mm-hmm.
You want to do the hook real quick?
Mm-mm.
Come on, you gotta do it. You gotta do it. Your fans are gonna want it.
Come on. Doom, 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 doom.
Look, he'll even be able to put the track on there so you can do it over the track later.
Do it?
Yeah, go ahead.
So just sing it?
Yeah, just sing it.
Just sing it. Freestyle. We're not watching.
No one's watching. Go ahead, you got it.
I don't wanna. Okay, fine. I'll do it. Okay. Do it?
Yep,
Okay.
you got it.
Alright, stop. Collaborate and listen. Ice is back with a brand new invention. Something grabs a hold of me tightly. Flow like a harpoon daily and nightly. Will it ever stop, yo? I don't know. Turn off the lights and I glow. To the extreme, I'll make like a vandal. Light up stage, you watch it chump like a candle. Dance. Go a speaker that booms. I'm killing your brain like a poisonous mushroom. Deadly.
See, I told you, he got it. You know, he was nervous, but did you hear?
Man, that kid was great.
That was awesome.
I'm going to have to send that to him.
Man, that's awesome.
I love it. I'll tag Vanilla Ice in there.
Yeah, we got to. Might get him
great.
on stage with him.
That's awesome. Well, see, look at that. But see, it's not hard. You just got to, close your eyes and take that deep breath and then just let it out.
That's right. And everybody's just going to, the fact that you're 9 years old, nobody's going to judge you. It's more of like everybody's going to hype you up and cheer. When you were in the ring, all you heard was nothing but cheers and screams because they were so excited to see someone.
So many people talking about it afterwards in that picture that I posted.
Oh, yeah.
People were loving that pic, man. They were just like, we were just so blown away. And he actually did really, really good. So,
Yeah.
I mean, like, he had the little Shane Graham Spartyka Fight League card, and like he was in it.
But did you see him do the Shane Graham too? You know how Shane does the in this corner.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean that blew me away. I'm just like, man.
Yeah. If you look at the picture, if you look at the pictures of it, like the way he's holding the mic and he's got it looked like a mini, like it looked like a pro. Like, it looked like you would see pictures of Shane. The body language.
Yeah,
is
and
what-
I was telling my wife, I was like, babe, I think Jimmy's nervous. I think Shane's nervous. They don't think he can do this. I'm like, they're gonna be surprised when he gets in there. You know, because they were
I mean,
like,
he
we got to
killed
get him
it,
an easy name. We got to get him. He's like, I'll take any name, Dad. It's easy. Just tell me what the name is.
Well, I mean, I was worried. So we had a couple of guys that were like, we had a Russian guy, we had a dude from Morocco. I mean, we had a couple of names that were on there that like I can't pronounce.
I was gonna say-
So I'm like, last thing I'm going to do is have a 9-year-old trying to pronounce.
When they-
He'd be able to
somebody
get
from,
away
like-
with it.
Yeah, but
They come
you know,
sit at- they come
Chris
sit at my
Scales
table.
and Alistair Patterson
Yeah, it's
was
easy.
pretty easy to announce, and they were just super cool to him.
Oh,
too,
they were
so it was-
awesome in the ring.
when they come sit with me, I'm like, say that. I can't say that. Because I was like, I'm not going to butcher that on air. There's no way.
Yeah, and they were awesome. You know, the picture before the fight was cool. You know, how they interacted with him was cool.
Then he came up to me afterwards, and he's like, can I be in there for the title bouts? And I'm like, kid, when you're a winner, you can do whatever you want.
That's right.
And we had him in there for,
Yeah.
as much as we could. So we'll definitely have him for, all the future events, as long as, his old man can make it out there. I think
yeah.
we'll start with at least one bout. I think the crowd's going to be looking forward to seeing him again. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing him back in there. Hey, me and Josh have been talking, so we're going to look at doing a military kid spinoff of what he's doing as well. So we're going to look at either the June or the August event, potentially doing like a little mini event inside of our events in
Yeah.
between fights. So we'll have his son announce that as well, and I think that'll be pretty cool. But entrepreneurship, man, it's crazy. I was just talking to this Master Chief the other day at CMC, and he hit me up, and I'm in the middle of all this stuff, and I'm driving to Fort Polk, and then I'm going to New Orleans. We used to do an event once a year down in New Orleans, looking at bringing that back. I drove 15 hours back so I could make sure I was here in time to catch
I
this
was like,
podcast.
you drove all the way back just for this.
Yeah, I didn't want to miss this podcast. So, but I remember telling that CMC the other day, I was like, when I first started, there wasn't all these veteranpreneurs, veteranpreneurship, all these veterans that were entrepreneurs. So there was nobody for me to talk to. I learned everything the hard way. Spartyka wasn't my first company. I was wrapped up in lawsuits, lost the company name by one day on a trademark. I mean, just worst case scenario stuff. My first logo, was horrific and it was overpriced. My first website was horrific and overpriced, but I didn't know any better. So when I came up with something, anything somebody threw at me that had the name on there, I was like, man, this is great.
Yeah.
Somebody could have took a crap, rolled it up in aluminum foil, slapped the name on there, like, this is awesome. Like, when you're first starting out, like, you don't know.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I've sent people to Josh to redo logos, and I've got one buddy, I'm not going to call him out, but when he sent me his logo and was telling me what it was supposed to be, like, it was so far off and just horrible. And I'm like,
Yeah.
man, let me put you in touch with my guy. And he did a great job with it. And it was funny because as I was talking to CMC, I was going to I've already plugged in Josh and my trademark guy. I'm just waiting for him to pull the trigger on it. But he was like, thanks, man. With everything you got going on, I greatly appreciate it. And I told him, I was like, no matter how busy I am, I told myself when I first started, and I had nobody to help me, that if anybody reached out to me, I'd find the time.
Yeah.
It might not be right then and there, but I'll squeeze some time in to, answer questions, answer emails, point
Yeah.
people in the right direction. Because little stuff like getting a trademark, getting that logo, those are the two first things that I talk to him about. Your logo is your brand.
Absolutely.
And then you got to protect that brand. So one, you want to make sure you have a good solid logo. But then two, you want to make sure that logo is protected.
Did he do
so
the
nobody else
SFL
can-
radio?
Yeah.
You did that?
Yep.
Oh, we love that logo. That was exactly like what we wanted to. Came out perfect.
Yeah, that came out great.
And you did my menus for my other business, which was
Yeah.
awesome too. And you did a great job on those.
Yeah, and I think people need to understand that business isn't about making money. It never is. It's more about building the relationships.
Yep.
Because when you can build relationships, you will make money off
right.
of those relationships.
Yep.
Because the more that I can refer someone, the more that they refer someone to me, and in exchange, we're making money together.
Absolutely.
So if they keep in mind that let's build relationships, you'll go a lot farther.
Oh yeah, yeah. The money will come.
Absolutely. It's not easy, but if you know someone, you're trying to start something, you're like, oh, I got the perfect guy for you, and in return, that same person is doing the same thing.
Yeah. I know a guy that does backdrops.
Yeah, I know.
So you know.
Oh, man. The whole last podcast, he was like, backdrop,
No, so
backdrop,
you know
backdrop.
what's funny?
Like, we kept hearing it, and I'm like, man, I just keep
No,
thinking
so one of the reasons is, so like with my old business, and with my old podcast before this, Rec AF, I still kind of do it, but occasionally, we had the logos done, and we added a nightclub that I will not mention, that did not pay to, well, they hooked me up with a guy that printed the backdrops, and it was a nice job, but he didn't pay for it. and then the nightclub went under, and now I got a stupid ass logo on the backdrop, so I'll never use it. I'll
Right.
like roll it up and burn it or something. But that, like, it looked so cool with a podcast to have that. And then, like, as we grew with SFL radio, and I told you how far we've come with podcasting from literally like 2 USB mics and this computer, and then, like, you know, getting in with Jimmy and then getting the mic stands, and we got the SFL radio mic flags, and, like, you know, just everything has been an upgrade, the 4K camera, all that stuff. And then, like, when I look at the fights, and like even this is like nice, we're in our shop, we got nice backdrop and everything, but when we're at the fights, it's just like 4 dudes floating in like blackness because it's nothing behind us but black curtains, black table, black curtains, and it's like it's just these weird floating bodies. And I'm like, and I think the first 2 fights we didn't even have lights, so like as the jumbotron would
I mean, you guys
change,
didn't even have a stand.
No.
You guys were just on the floor.
yeah,
So we've elevated you guys.
exactly.
So
Like,
slowly you're getting up there is
Yeah.
what he's saying.
So
Slowly.
yeah, so it's funny because if you look at our first 2 fight casts, like SFL is like 34 or whatever, it as the jumbotron changes, you can see us like different, you know. And then there's sometimes where you almost can't even see us. It's just like body parts, like random body parts. And then I was like, I gotta buy lights. So we got the lights, and it's like, you know, the last piece that I'm missing is like that last piece is like, how pro would it look with that backdrop behind us?
So yeah.
So amazing. So yeah, that's
Yeah,
you know
we'll
where
make
we're
that
at.
happen. We've
Yeah.
had to hear it for 2 podcasts in a row.
That's cool.
Squeaky wheel.
We
Squeaky
should play
wheel
one more
disagree.
time,
Yeah.
and you're just gonna have
It
it.
does get the oil because people are gonna SFL
This
listeners,
is brand recognition.
SFL listeners, you start blowing Jimmy up about the backdrop. Be like, these guys need a backdrop.
You should probably give him Jimmy's number.
You're right.
That's what I need. I don't answer anyway. I
Hashtag
go to voicemail. I never check my voicemail.
hashtag buy them a backdrop. No, I'm just kidding. But no, that's awesome, man. And I'm looking forward to having you on. You want to be on some more podcasts?
Sure.
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll have you on with the fighters. It's fun.
Yeah, next time we'll bring out a fighter. This time I just want to kind of focus on Nicky, focus on his old man, innovative twist, focus on the nonprofit, plug the fact that we're going to do some coordinating together. We'll talk about it, especially leading up to the event, at the April event, trying to get some military kids to do kind of a spin-off of what he's already doing with kids, but get some military kids out there.
Yeah.
And then have his son kind of emceeing that portion when our summer events come up. So it's going to be exciting, man. Right now, we put the dates out, so 7 April is SFL 38, and then 22 June will be SFL 39. We haven't officially released it yet, but we'll be releasing it this week. August 10th will be SFL 40, and then we're waiting on the Ted Constant Center.
We got some 5Ks coming up too, right?
Yep, so we got the Spartyka Wounded Warrior 5K coming up, so that's the next actual Spartyka event we're doing. Oceanfront, 24th Street, 30 March, we'll be down there. The following weekend, we've got the fight, and the very next morning, we got the Valor Forever 5K. So it's busy. It's going to be 3 events within 8 days. Plus, we'll also have a presser in there, and then we'll have 2 packet pickups and a weigh-in. So when you add all that stuff together, you're actually looking at 7 different things happening in 8 days. So it's going to be busy, but we're looking forward to it, and glad you guys can make it out tonight.
Yeah.
Pleasure. Thanks for
Do you
having
have
us.
anything you want to say to the masses before we sign off?
Nicky, out.
Hold on. Before Nicky's out, you got to tell them your Instagram so they can start following.
throw
You got an Instagram.
You got an Instagram. Put your Instagram up.
It's the underscore Nicky Stylz underscore.
_Nicky Stylz _
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
There you go. So
And
follow
it's
him on Instagram.
STYLZ, right?
Yeah.
STYLES.
And then you guys can put it on the link or something, right?
We can. Yeah, I'll have it pop
that
up
way,
on the thing.
that
On the
way they
screen.
can get
And the
it.
logo, did you shoot him the logo?
I sent it to you.
Yeah,
so
he
you
gave me
sent it to
everything. I'm
him.
gonna stick it all up on the,
Okay.
Yeah.
So, little podcast lesson. So we're gonna do a little out thing, and then you're gonna say, Nick, you do your out at the end. All right, be ready. All right. Got anything else?
That's it. Thanks for having us. We appreciate it. And we look
Excellent.
forward to being on it again someday.
All right, we got some fighters coming up soon. Once the fight cards get released, me and Chris will be back. We'll be doing some episodes, doing some interviews, doing some phone-ins, getting everything all hyped up and ready for the upcoming fight.
Yep. So SFL 38, 7 April, come out and join us. If you want to come out and run, walk the 5K, we've got one 30 March. That'll be 11th annual Spartyka Wounded Warrior 5K. And then we've also got one 7 April, the day after the fight, the Valor Forever 5K. So come out, support, run, walk, volunteer, or just come out and hang out.
Yep. And I want to give a quick shout out to our sponsor, UFC Gym in Norfolk, and our soon-to-be sponsor, Rich Energy. Always keeps me going every day. Mineral water, natural sugar. It's delicious. Love it. All right. I am your host, Mikey V. We will be back, and I will see you later.
Nicky, out.
This match will be 3 3-minute rounds
Gym. Fighting in the red corner, a mixed martial artist standing 5 feet, 7 inches tall, weighing in 155 pounds, representing UFC Gym, Chris Stylz. And his opponent, fighting in the blue corner, a mixed martial artist standing 6 feet, 1 inch tall, weighing in 155 pounds, representing Diego, Baseball Academy, and Harvey Glacier, Mario Tai. Team Washington, Team Mission, Allison Patterson. The referee is John Smith.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Spartyka!